Yeah. What's good? What's good? This is your boy, Tone DeShields the second, joined by Symone Stanley and Laura Brunson. This is the Link Up. We appreciate you guys for locking in. As always, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We are building this Link Up platform. You guys got to be active. You guys got to be engaged. You guys got to lock in. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel.
Yes, sir.
But I got a question. Symone. You're stuck in the middle of the ocean on a raft. You only can save one person. LeBron James or Dillon, who you saving?
If I save LeBron, he'll probably do some heroic stuff and end up reaching back and saving him.
I don't know.
What?
What kind of shit is that? Like
you save LeBron.
Two people.
If I save him, he has the strength, the swimming abilities, the power. I can't swim. So it's like if I save him, then he gonna go save everybody else.
The raft only got room for two people. He's 6'8", 6'9", 280. That raft gonna get.
He's not gonna need the raft. See, once I get him, he's strong enough to swim with one arm and grab Dillon like this.
Oh, so he Aquaman now.
He might. I feel it.
Oh man, what's going on? How y'all feeling today?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. You know, it's a beautiful day. All the speculation about the birds. We picked 32nd. I'm ready to get it over with, honestly.
I'm looking forward to it. The draft is always cool to me. It's always fun, like just new guys coming in, new crop of players. You know what I mean? It's always fun.
That's fun from that aspect, but it's like so many people are having unrealistic expectations, but I think we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. People got unrealistic expectations, man. We picked 32nd.
Okay.
They still running around talking about Abdul Carter.
Who is?
Bro, everybody. Oh, wait. How we got the picks to trade up? What? We're gonna talk about it.
Yo. Symone, what's up with you? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Little under the weather.
Still?
Allergies, but alive.
You taking any allergies?
Yeah, I done took a whole bunch of stuff. I done took everything. Nothing worked.
It's definitely the pollen. You know what I mean? Car, you come outside your car green.
Right.
I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
It's definitely dying down. Like the pollen seems like it's dying down a little bit. So hopefully we good soon.
Yeah,
no, I was hurting a couple like a week ago. I was down bad. I was down bad. But it was only happening at night. That's what was confusing me the most.
You keep it so do you keep a window open or do you run like a fan that's like near a window or something like that?
No, I don't do none of that. I just try getting to bed and it's like it just start going downhill.
That is interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. You got a pet to sleep in your room at night?
Yeah, my dog is what is it, hyperallergenic though?
Oh, okay, all right. So
he don't got none of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the allergy is bad. For sure, bro. I don't want to get into that, man. I take medicine every day, nasal spray, eye drops, pills. I've been doing this since I was like 10. You know what I mean? So I'm damn near. Rough. Yeah, for sure. But like the older I got, the better it got for me. It's some people that the older they got, the worse it got. For me, it got better. So yeah, no, I wanted to pick y'all brain about something. Before we got into the draft talk, before we got into, you know, the top 30 visits, because there has been an update with that. But before we get into that, I wanted to touch base with y'all about this whole Amon-Ra St. Brown dynamic, because I don't know. It's what my man 50 Cent say? What you saying fuck me for? Like what I do to you? Like what's going on? What's the word? Like
ain't this like his second time saying this publicly that he want to play us?
Yeah. For the first time on his podcast, he basically said, and let me make sure I got this right because I don't want to misquote the brother, because the brother does such an amazing job putting this energy out there into the ether. But to be specific, the first time on the podcast, he said, and I quote, we'll spoil that game for them.
What game?
Talking about
we dropped the banner?
You talking about the home opener?
The home opener.
Oh, okay. And this is the problem. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
He talked about if if they defense was when they defense get healthy, we'll see how that system operates.
Oh, what system?
My thing is this. Amon-Ra. That Lions-Eagles matchup that people were anticipating, that was last season.
Right.
This was a storyline for last season, right?
Mm-hmm.
People wanted to see because they thought the Lions were the best last season and the Eagles were the best. They thought it was Lions, Eagles, top 2 teams. That was a last season narrative. It's a new season, baby. It's new teams. The Lions, y'all not that no more. Y'all not him no more. People don't want to see what y'all look like against a good team because we saw what y'all look like against a good team and y'all got blown out. We made it to the NFC Championship game. The matchup was supposed to be in the NFC Championship game. We was there waiting on y'all. Where you at was at. Where you at was at. We was ready for the matchup on Amon-Ra. Y'all didn't make it to the matchup. The matchup was the NFC Championship game last year. That's where people want to see Lions, Eagles. Going into the next season, ain't nobody thinking about no Lions, Eagles. They think about Eagles, Commanders. We got a new team we beefing with. Find somebody else.
Then it's I ain't even beefing with them. Honestly, they peons to me too. But go ahead, LB.
It's like the audacity, though, bro. Like what? It's the audacity of these peasants, man. You know, I'm talking how I want to talk. I ain't about to be politically correct, man. You talking about all of this stuff, man. You play for a franchise that never won a Super Bowl. What can you spoil for us? We just won the Super Bowl. Y'all never even played in the Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions as a collective franchise. You can't spoil nothing in week 1. What matters is how you end. And this is the issue with these players over and over and over again. They keep worrying about regular season matchups and this, that, and the third. What matters is what you do in the postseason. Yeah, you got to have enough regular season wins to be able to play in the postseason. But, bro, like Symone said, you could have met us at the altar. It's been too many incidents where people saying what they would have did had they met us at the altar. That year when we knocked Purdy out the game and we went to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys were saying that we would have got there, but y'all couldn't beat San Francisco to get there. You know what I mean? Now the Lions, we would have got there. You couldn't beat the, what was that, the 7th seed or the 6th seed?
6th seed.
You couldn't beat the 6th seed to host the NFC Championship game, bro. You was the 1 seed. So it's like, bro, and then they want to make all the excuses. They was missing so many players. Bro, y'all could have won that game, but Jared Goff started throwing interceptions.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like y'all had the personnel to beat. Yeah. I don't want to hear no excuses, man. I don't want to play them.
That had nothing to do with nobody missing on defense.
5 picks alone? He had 5 picks in that game?
He threw 3 picks and he fumbled once, so it's 4 turnovers total.
4 turnovers.
And then didn't they wide receiver throw a pick?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so 5 turnovers total in the game. Yes, yep. 5 total
so it was like horrible play, horrible coaching all across the board. You know what I mean? They was averaging 10 yards a run. They was averaging 10 yards a carry at one point in the game, and they stopped running the ball, and they threw a ball with Jameson Williams, whatever his name is. They threw it. What are you doing, bro? They're not a serious franchise, bro. We played them week 17, and it don't mean nothing. I don't even want to play them bum ass.
Here's the crazy thing about it, because he was on Kevin Hart's Coldest Ball show. I love that show, by the way.
Another thing, I have an issue with that too. How's he there? Who's he there to be? That's supposed to be Kevin Hart is an A-list celebrity. Who the hell is Amon-Ra St. Brown to be on that show anyway? I'm gonna keep it a bean.
In fairness, there's
nothing wrong with Amon-Ra outside of this statement, right? Outside of this whole Eagles Bulls, Eagles Lions, he's as far as the NFL goes, he don't position himself as one of the faces and names of the NFL.
And doing what? What's he doing? Modeling?
I'm saying, like, as far as marketing goes, he's definitely positioned himself, like, with that podcast, with his marketing team, as one of the faces names of the NFL. So he gonna be on them podcasts like that. Like, he gonna be getting.
I don't know. I have to say, I'm unfamiliar with his work. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm unfamiliar with his work, because wasn't Justin Jefferson on there?
Yeah, he was. I think.
I understand that. Best player in the game. I think Kelsey was on there.
He was on what? Kevin Hart thing?
On Kevin Hart. You know what I mean? I think
Kevin Hart's thing? Is it a podcast?
It's an Old Spice thing.
Yeah,
it's like sponsored by Old Spice.
Yeah. He does like I want to say maybe maybe 10 to 15 episodes a year where he get in the cold tub and he talking to different athletes, different people, whatever he doing. And it's fun. It's like
mid.
Yeah, it's not even a podcast. It's like a
I'm not talking about Kevin Hart joint. I'm thinking about the Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's him and his brother and some random dude.
My mama loved the Amon-Ra St. Brown pie.
Mid. All they do is make statements and talk
and they can't back up.
Ass.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all they do.
Like, I love how honest they are, because when they lose, they still talk about it and they don't be trying to gaslight or nothing.
That's true, I guess, but that's all they could talk about is losing. That's it. I'm unfamiliar with his work. I'm keeping it a bean. You sit next to Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart been in 56,000 movies. Now we gotta look at a clip of Amon-Ra.
Here's my problem with it all, right? Here's my problem with it all, y'all. It's like I'm going to lead with respect because Amon-Ra St. Brown is a two-time first team All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler. I'm going to lead with respect because he didn't crash out, but he still said something he shouldn't have said, and that's my problem. Because here's my thing, right? Detroit, y'all can talk about what y'all should have did, could have did, would have did. Y'all didn't live up to y'all end of the bargain. Y'all was supposed to be that team all year long. Y'all was the team to beat. The NFC runs through Detroit. Detroit are odds favorites to win it all. Y'all blowing out teams. Y'all running the score up. And that was y'all problem. Y'all got too big for y'all bridges. Y'all every week, every game y'all played in was y'all Super Bowl. Y'all acting like y'all ain't never been good before. Running up the score on teams that you really why are you running the score up on the Jags? Why? You about 30, 20 points in the fourth. Why are you running the score up, right? And again, it comes down to it. Y'all couldn't handle the pressure. Yeah, y'all had injuries, but y'all still went 15-2. Y'all went 15-2 with all those injuries. So, yeah, the defense got dismantled with the injuries, but I'm having a hard time giving y'all an excuse when y'all went 15-2. Y'all won 3 more games than y'all did the previous season. Y'all got the number 1 seed. And I'm supposed to feel bad for what happened to y'all in the divisional round, and y'all allowed overrated Commanders team to walk into your house and take over your trap. I'm supposed to look at y'all and take you serious when you saying what you're saying. And again, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I mean this with respect, brother. You put up numbers in this league. This ain't about your skill set. This ain't about you as a man. This is about your mindset and where you see yourself in this league as a team. And the reality is this: I don't really hate you for what you said. What I hate y'all for the most, Detroit, I hate y'all the most for making the Commanders believe they actually had a chance. I hate y'all the most for not living up to y'all end of the bargain. I hate y'all the most for allowing the Commanders to even think they deserve to be where they was at. That's my problem with y'all. And again, all this woulda, coulda, shoulda, just play the schedule, bro. Just play the schedule. Talking about who you want week 1. You want to
the percentage.
Just play the schedule, dog.
The percentage of teams with the number 1 seed that go to the Super Bowl got to be over like 60%. So when you get the number 1 seed, especially how valuable it is since the change where it's only 1 bye, and that is only for the team with the number 1 seed, to not go to the Super Bowl when you get the number 1 seed now is a huge letdown.
It's criminal.
Because it's criminal. It's crucial. Who had the number 1 seed in the NFC last year? Was it the Rams? It was San Fran?
San Fran, I think. Last year?
It wasn't the Rams. It was San Fran or Detroit.
No, it wasn't Detroit. Not last year, because Detroit played a wild card game last year.
San Fran.
It was San Fran, and they ended up going to the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We had the number 1 seed the year before that in the NFC.
And another thing,
we didn't have the number 1 seed when Jalen Hurts took us to Super Bowl, did we? We did.
Yeah, we did.
We had the number 1 seed. Super Bowl.
And one last thing, Detroit. Let's not act like y'all not prone to drop the ball when it matters most. Last time I checked in the 2023 playoffs, when y'all was on the heater, y'all went to San Fran. Y'all went to Levi Stadium, and y'all was up 24-7 at halftime. 24-7 at halftime. And y'all allowed the San Francisco 49ers to come back from a 17-point lead. You blew a 17-point lead at halftime in the playoffs. And then Y'all got mollywopped by the Commanders in the divisional round this year. How am I supposed to feel bad for y'all when y'all routinely have been let down by y'all quarterback, when y'all routinely been underwhelming? And again, Amon-Ra St. Brown, brother, you show up. I'll give you that. You show up. You show up. But I still don't like your tone. I don't like your energy. Because you should know better. You should know better than to try to forecast what you want that schedule to look like. Because like I said on Twitter, be careful what you wish for, bro. There's always a catch. There's always a catch that come with that.
I'll respect it more if he say I did my part.
But he can't say that. He can't say that. He can't say that.
I would respect it more than, so he need to shut up then.
Exactly.
He need to shut up then because all they've been doing is not completing the objective since Dan Campbell been the coach. They've been a team on the cusp. They've been a team on the cusp. They have not represented the NFC in the Super Bowl yet. We've done it 2 times since they supposed to be so good.
Come on.
You don't want to play us, bro. That ain't what you want. You can't stop the tush push.
This ain't what you want.
That ain't what you want. You can't stop the tush push. You're not better than AJ Brown. I don't care about the respectfully, the disrespectfully part. Know your role, bro. I got a hard time. Is he top 10? I like him. I like the guy. Is he top 10?
Yeah, Amon-Ra, yeah.
Is he truly top 10? Can we get a top 10? Can we get a top 10?
He top 10.
For sure?
I think so. I think so.
Justin Jefferson, Chase.
All right, so no particular order. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, AJ Brown.
Chase, AJ Brown,
CeeDee Lamb.
Nico Collins is better than him.
I like Nico.
This is in order.
No. I'm gonna give you 10 guys that I think is better. Nico Collins, I believe, is better. I believe Devontae Smith is better than him.
Devontae Smith is better than him. Where I think Devontae Smith is better than him, Devontae Smith, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they call him a slot merchant.
Right.
They say he do most of his eating in the slot, whereas with Devontae, he can eat outside, inside, anywhere you put him at.
Exactly why I say he's better. When you look at the big catches that Devontae Smith made, look at Devontae Smith highlights from this year. He didn't even have 1,000 yards. He made some of the biggest, most crucial catches all year. I believe Devontae Smith is better than him. I believe
Tyreek
this
Hill.
year. Yeah,
so how many you got now?
That's 7. That's 7 right there. I believe this year Terry McLaurin separated himself, and Terry McLaurin looks better than him. So right now we'll be talking about 8.
I feel like that's 7. I don't think that's 8.
Amon-Ra, 2-time first team All Pro, 3-time. You got to put him top 10. You got to put him top 10.
I don't, because guys have seasons.
Hold on. You said that's 8.
That's 8. Yeah.
Did you add? You got Terry.
I'm gonna go down my list again. Jamar Chase, AJ Brown. This is no order. Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, Nico Collins, Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb. It was somebody else. There's 2 other guys that I'm missing.
Would you take Amon-Ra St. Would you take T. Higgins over Amon-Ra St. Brown?
That's close.
So
Devontae Smith, Devontae Smith is another one that I put over him. So that's 7. It was somebody else that I just named that I didn't miss. Somebody in the chat gonna tell me.
Jamar, Jettas, AJ, Devontae, Nico, CD, Terry, and who was the other one?
Puka. I ain't even named Puka. I'm taking Puka Nacua.
Who was the other person you named in the first round?
I don't know. I forgot that fast.
I feel like he's debatable. He's like a debatable.
Malik Neighbors. I like Malik Neighbors.
I'm not taking Neighbors over Amon-Ra right now. I'm not doing that.
So Malik Neighbors ain't shown me a lot, but I think Malik Neighbors eventually. It was Cheetah. It was Tyreek Hill. That was the 8th one. I'm not taking Devontae Adams. Not right now.
No.
Look, Mike Evans might be borderline-ish to me. And T. Higgins. So yeah, he might be top 10. He might be top 10.
He's top 10. Yeah. I'm telling you, bro.
I think top 10 is reasonable.
I think top 10 is reasonable with him on the bubble.
Yeah, he might be. Brian Thomas Jr. looked legit too, but I ain't seen a lot though.
Yeah, I'm not putting none of these.
Yeah, I'm not putting no
1-year players in the top, and nobody. I'm not doing that.
You can't do that. But my thing is why it's reasonable for me to do that is because these guys can play in the slot and take the top off the defense. I don't really see St. Brown doing that. They got to take the top off the defense is Jameis Williams. who probably might be better than him too.
Look,
but he just don't get them looks.
I feel like Amon-Ra, he deserves his respect.
That's what I think too. But
I don't think so. He's talking too much. Respect. Listen, you don't get no respect by talking and saying what you want. You get respect by doing. What did he do? What was his stat line when they got cooked against the Commanders? Was he on the sideline?
He had 12 targets, like 10 catches, 130 yards. He was cooking.
He was cooking. All right, I can respect that. Going out on this show, I can respect
LP that. Don't be want to give nobody their respect.
That's why I say
I'm not in a position to get nobody no respect because we're the Super Bowl champs. He should be talking to us like we deserve some respect.
No, I agree with that.
No, I agree with that part. I agree with that.
You on a podcast talking about what you want and who you gonna spoil what for who? Shut up. We're getting our ring finger sized. We ain't doing no disrespect this year. We don't know disrespect this year because everybody has equal chance. You had the number 1 seed, brother. I can't feel sorry for you with the number 1 seed. Just like the Commanders, you was in the championship game, so you can't come out here and talk about our roster wasn't good enough. You was in the NFC Championship. You had a good team.
Talking crazy, by the way. Talking crazy, by the way. Talking crazy, by the way.
I want no excuses.
So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you as far as I ain't giving these guys no outs, no excuses. These guys ain't getting these guys ain't getting nothing on layaway. If you ain't got the money, you can't come in the store. So my point is like you can't be sitting here talking about what you could have did, what you would have did, who you want, that matchup, bro. Y'all didn't get it done. But football is the ultimate team sport. So you can't be talking like this, bro, because there's going to be certain things in these games you can't control. The receiver position, Devontae Smith broke it down perfectly. It's the most dependent position in football. You waiting on a perfect snap from the center to the quarterback. The quarterback got to drop back. The offensive line got to block well. The quarterback got to go through his reads. The quarterback got to deliver the ball from point A to point B through mid-air traffic. And you got to catch that ball when somebody trying to take your head off. So many variables have to go right for you to catch that football, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You can't be talking like you the end-all be-all in these situations. You can't be doing that. You can't be talking about who you want. I don't respect the sentiment, but I do respect the player's resume individually, but the sentiment, I don't respect that. I don't respect the position. I don't respect the position. Listen, LB,
I'm sorry. What the Pro Bowls and shit?
LB, 2-time first team All Pro, 3-time Pro Bowl. We can't act like that's nothing.
We can't act like what? We can't act like what? We can't act like that's something either though. What are we talking about here? Every good player or fringe top 10 guy will have one of those. Everybody I named in my top 10 got those accolades.
Hold on.
So what does it take?
Hold on.
They got Pro Bowls and All Pros.
Let me ask you this, LB. What does it take to get respect?
And from like a wide receiver that's talking like he talking?
A ring?
No. Playoff success. You're not in the playoffs. You ain't even got to get a ring. If you go to the Super Bowl and lose and you was a factor, like putting on in the playoffs. They didn't even win a playoff game last year. They got a bye and went bye-bye. What are you talking about? I respect Justin Jefferson way more because he don't got the playoff accolades like that, but he's dealt with really, really shitty quarterback play. You know what I mean? He's had multiple quarterbacks. He's had Sam Darnold.
He's had Kirk Cousins his entire career. He only had a different quarterback for one season.
But it's Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins.
Would you say is Kirk Cousins better than Jared Goff?
No. Didn't Jared Goff play in like 2 Super Bowls? At least one.
Jared Goff played one Super Bowl.
No, he's not better than Jared Goff.
And he couldn't even register a touchdown.
No, he's not better than Jared Goff. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
absolutely not. He's not better. He's not better than Jared. Jared Goff is partly responsible for turning the Lions franchise around.
I feel like based off the way, I'm still taking Jared Goff over Sam.
I would personally. I'm taking Jared Goff over Kirk Cousins, but I don't think it's miles away.
Who y'all say? Who y'all comparing?
Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins. I don't think they're miles away.
I thought y'all was talking about Jared Goff and Sam Darnold.
Jared Goff get the edge.
Like Kirk Cousins
get the edge.
Yeah, Jared Goff get the edge over Kirk, bro.
Yeah, but I don't think it's miles away. I don't.
Not miles. Nah, the edge.
I think it's miles away.
Nah, bro.
I think it's miles away. In terms of big game situations, I've seen Jared Goff win some big games.
Yeah.
I've seen Jared Goff win big games before. I've never seen Kirk Cousins win a big game.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins got like 2 playoff wins.
Fair enough. That's reasonable.
You know what I mean? So I think it's a larger gap. Kirk Cousins hasn't went anywhere and turned the franchise around like that.
That's
Kirk
true.
Cousins lost. He lost to fucking Daniel Jones.
He be ruining franchises.
Right. That's all he do. I like Jared Goff over Dak.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Jared Goff over Dak. I like Jared Goff over a couple people. But yeah, man, if you want respect, you got to be a dog to me when it matters the most. Yeah, his stat line was cool. He had a bunch of targets and all of that. His quarterback, the loss wasn't on him, but you need to shut up and go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, and another thing
I just don't like the fact that he bringing this up multiple times. Like
that part.
It's one thing to say it.
I forgot about it the first time.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's getting annoying now.
It's given he trying to get some clickbait. It's given like, you know, when they get them podcasts and they start engagement farming, that's what it's given.
They doing the same thing Mike and the rest of them dudes did. Mention us in the light. That's like, he ain't saying nothing negative, but he talking about us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, go look for the people that punched on you.
That part.
You know, look for the people that beat you up. They didn't do anything to you. The Commanders embarrassed you. Oh, you should be looking for them. Look, you should be looking for the victim. You're a victim. You should be filing a police report on the people that did something to you. I said, what was that work? Minding our business. Why you want us in jail?
Like 50 said, man, what you saying fuck me for?
Yeah, I'm confused.
I ain't the one that said something to you. I ain't the one that did it to you.
I'm confused.
I don't remember anybody ever saying anything from the Eagles about the Lions. Like
we never even
crossed paths.
We never acknowledged them. We never even acknowledged them. Last time we played them, every time we played them and we beat them. We beat them. We not worried about it.
I don't even want to play the Lions week 1.
Me neither. I don't even want to. I don't want to give them the satisfaction.
But now I don't want to give them the satisfaction.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? What is Jared like? You know what? What is Jared Goff going to do? Be a sitting duck?
But it's given they probably gonna set it up because you know they're gonna want a big matchup week 1.
I don't care how the game go, long as the banner drop. Right. And that's what's important.
But I just don't want to give them that satisfaction, bro. I feel like it's either gonna be the Lions or the Commanders week 1.
You know what I'm saying? The only way I ain't gonna like it is if they make it got to be in Philly because the banner gonna drop.
Yeah, it's definitely a home game for sure.
They don't want to come. They don't want to come to the Linc. They don't want that. They don't want that.
Let me ask you a question.
Weather gonna be nice. September.
They don't want that.
First game back outside since the Super Bowl.
Drill team popping. Banner gonna drop.
It's gonna be lit up in there.
Yo,
why was I doing this last night at the Braves game?
Yeah, they simmer down.
Oh yeah, you talking the Braves game where the Phillies beat them, right?
I'm talking about some. I'm gonna have all the Braves doing this soon.
Yeah. Y'all need to settle down. It's still, you know what I mean? Y'all still can't beat us in the playoffs. Like
it's week 10.
You know what I mean?
First of all, y'all is like Dallas of baseball because y'all got a dusty old ring from 2001.
That's false. We not
y'all get to the playoffs. Y'all get a high seed. Y'all get to the playoffs, and then y'all wet the bed. Last 3 seasons, y'all was supposed to win something.
But every time we go, we beat y'all though, right? Every time we play against
what? That's y'all World Series. Y'all World Series is beating the Braves.
Now she don't look it up.
World Series is beating the Braves. You sound like a Cowboys. Well, we beat y'all.
No, but hold on, wait though. Every time we get to the playoffs, y'all got the higher seed.
But y'all be beating y'all best.
And y'all are the favorite. And then we ultimately end up doing what? Beating y'all.
Listen, Linda.
We're gonna win a World Series this year.
Listen, Linda, who won the most recent? Who won in the 2020s? Us. Y'all got a dusty old ring just like Dallas. And at the end of every season.
So we comparing.
Let me stop acting like I don't even watch baseball.
At the end, but let me tell you though, LB. You hear what he said though? But we beat y'all. Who did that sound like, LB?
But you tell me.
The Phillies won in 2008. When the last time the Braves won?
She comparing. She comparing.
The Braves won in 2021?
2021, babes. Yes, babes.
But peep game. She's comparing a 96-95 Dallas Cowboys ring to a 2008 21st century World Series.
But my thing is, you was what, 7 years old? And
Yes,
second of all,
I was
got the
14.
most recent ring.
I'm
My
your
whole
elder. I was
thing is
14.
they
I'm
be
your elder.
beating
I was
their
14.
chest. They be beating their chest about beating us.
Wait, how many?
But we beat y'all that
How
season
many
that we were
World Series
supposed
y'all got in
to
the
win the
21st
World
century?
Series.
How many World Series y'all got in the 21st
Did
century?
y'all get a banner for beating the Braves?
How many World Series y'all got in the 21st century?
I don't know. I'm a casual Braves fan.
I think y'all got one just like us.
All I know is I was at the parade in
about?
2021.
What we talking about? Like, you got one, we got one in the 21st. What we talking about?
Look, I've only been a Braves fan for 5 seasons, okay?
Oh, so you can't even talk to me.
But all I know is since I've been a Braves fan, I was at the World Series parade.
Fair weather. Oh, no, you lost credibility.
No,
fair weather.
I still be rooting for them when they lose.
Fair weather. Lord have mercy.
I've been a fan for 5 seasons.
And
However,
in all 5 seasons, they've been relevant.
But my point, so I became a fan once I started working for the Braves. My first job out of college was with the Braves. Mm-hmm. So since then, I've been rocking with them. Like, Lil Baby said, yeah, I'm rocking with the Braves.
I mean, they signed your checks. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Still sound fair weather.
All I know is since I've been tuned in and tapped in, I know y'all have been having expectations that y'all have not been delivering on.
Y'all ain't had expectations either with those number 1 seeds and those.
We won a World Series,
and so did we. What are you talking about? What we talking about?
All I know is y'all ain't won shit since I've been tuned into baseball.
Anyway,
all I know is I got a replica ring from 2021, and I was out at the parade.
Next topic, because I can't even take it serious. So
no, I can't take y'all serious. But next topic.
No, so LB, you was talking about you had a video recently when you was talking about one of the guys that came in for the top 30 visits with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's TJ Sanders, right?
Yeah, TJ Sanders.
TJ Sanders. And you said something in that video that really stood out to me. You said, I don't think the Eagles need to go best available. I think they need to go best fit available.
Right.
Can you expound on that?
So you can go best player available all day. Like I've been doing mock drafts. You got the wide receiver. He keep dropping for some reason. What's Luther's the third? What's his name? Y'all know I'm bad with names. It's one of these wide receivers. He like a top 15 guy. He keep dropping down to 32. And the
he
algorithm is saying he dropped to 32.
Luther Burden the third.
Luther Burden the third. He keep dropping down. So a lot of people are like, we should take a wide receiver in this draft. About best fit. It makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. It got to be about best fit available. You got to understand the position we in. We picking 32 because we won a Super Bowl. We won a Super Bowl because we had the best team. Nobody want to give us our credit and say we got the best anything. They want to say it's the team. You know what I'm saying? If I say Zach Bone was the best linebacker in football last year, y'all going to say it was it's doing in San Fran. You know what I mean? If I say AJ Brown, the best wide receiver in football, y'all going to give me 5 other people. We already know the hell I'm going to go through if I say Jalen Hurts. I can't say Nick Sirianni, the best coach. We ain't got the best nothing, but we keep winning though, right? Because we got the best team. We don't need the best player available. We need the best fit available. Who's going to come in and be able to make plays? Like Cooper Dejean wasn't the best player available. He was the best fit available. And he's came in and made key plays all season long as a rookie. You know what I mean? Tackling Derrick Henry, pick 6 in the Super Bowl. What are we talking about? The best fit available. Who's going to come in here and take this system and take this playbook by the horns and implement it and get in where they fit in? That's what the Philadelphia Eagles need to do. I don't care about best player available. We picked 32. Best. I don't care about best player available. I don't. Best player available is for people that's picking 12 and up. The Cowboys and up. They got to take best player available because they got shitty football teams. They need talent. We don't need talent. We need guys that can fit to this puzzle and help us win and help us repeat.
Yeah. I feel like we need to go, if we stay and put, we need to go best defensive lineman available. I've seen we've been hosting a lot of corners. Like we've had so far coming in today, we had 20 pre-draft visits. They've been predominantly defensive linemen, offensive linemen, and cornerbacks. So I feel like it's going to be one of those. But I feel like we need to go, if we're staying put at 32, we need to go best available defensive lineman.
And they out there too. And you can even, if you at 32, you can even reach, I feel like, because your team is so talented across the board, you can reach for a guy who might not even produce this year. Maybe he'll produce next year. The same situation with Nolan Smith. But we had 2 first-round picks that year. Nolan Smith was a first-round pick who didn't really do much in his rookie season, but he came on the next year. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a guy you really, really like and you know he's going to be able to contribute, you can reach. I don't care. I'm not going to be huffing and puffing over the 32nd pick in this draft. I'm not. You know what I mean? People keep talking about, oh, this is a reach, this or that. What was Jalen Hunt? Jalen Hunt? Nobody ain't know Jalen Hunt's name until we called it on draft day. What school he came from, I ain't seen no videos on him. Nobody wasn't talking about Jalen Hunt. That was a reach. I was confused.
So you're saying if we stay put at 32,
right?
Then what would you consider a reach? Like what position?
If we stay and put at 32, what position?
Like, is there a specific player that you're referencing when you're saying like it's okay to reach?
I think TJ Sanders would be a reach. I just did a video on him yesterday.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about TJ Sanders specifically.
I think I'm talking maybe it's somebody that they looking at that I don't know, which is why I'm gonna do my homework after they select them. But I think TJ Sanders would be a borderline to reach at 32.
I think,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think rather than reaching, I can definitely see the Philadelphia, because my original thought process was if it's a player that they know they want and they may have to trade to get him, they're going to do that. I think they're not staying put at 32. I think they're either going to trade up or they're going to trade back. If it's a player that they want that's happened to drop and is close enough, they're going to trade up to get him, I think. But if they feel like the players that they want are kind of coming off the board, I could definitely see the Philadelphia Eagles trading back from the first round to the second round. I'm not talking late second, but they trade back and they still within the top 5, top 10 picks in the second round. And they can get a high value player on a significantly cheaper contract than you would have to pay a first round pick. So for example, that may be where your guy TJ Sanders comes in, because TJ Sanders, he's projected to be a high early second round pick. Right. I could definitely see the Philadelphia Eagles trade, because remember, the 32nd overall pick is a very fascinating spot to be in, because you can easily reach for a player and you could very easily trade back and get value for a player. And I just feel like when you're at the 32nd overall pick, the line between guys who are supposed to be first round picks versus guys who are borderline second round picks is very, very thin. So I could definitely see the Philadelphia Eagles saying, you know what, we could trade back a few spots, get a lot back for that 32nd overall pick, and then get the guy we want and still have a lot of draft capital to play with on draft day, on draft night. So me personally, there's nobody in particular that I want or I'm looking at. But I am under this I am on an island when I say this, because every time I bring it up, people kind of tilt their head a little bit. I have this weird feeling that if one of those safeties happen to drop, be it if it's Malachi Starks or Nick Emmanwori out of South Carolina, if one of those safeties drops a little bit, I could see the Philadelphia Eagles trading up and getting one of them.
It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a trade back. I think they're absolutely going to trade up, because Dallas Goedert is available and Bryce Huff is available. I think the Eagles will trade up to go and get what they want. I think you got to be mindful of what the Philadelphia Eagles are going to do around pick 23. Pick 23 and beyond, Howie Roseman is going to possibly be trying to make a move right there.
I would push it back to 25, but I see what you're saying. The sentiment is the same, though. When they get into that 23, 25 range, now he's starting to put the bullets in the gun and see if he can make a move.
Exactly. So I don't see a trade back scenario, because I think that our scouting department has gotten really, really good over the years. And rather than trade back, well, trading back could happen. But, I think that Vic Fangio has so many diamonds in the rough and guys that he's watched film on, and he's able to find the Jalen Hunts of the world and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And you didn't have to. I don't think you didn't have to get Jalen Hunt in the third round.
Yeah,
I think he would have been there in the fifth round. Nobody ain't know nothing about him.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think Vic Fangio got a couple guys like that on his list, and we gonna find out about him when it's time to find out about him. So I'm comfortable. My thing is this: my reaction will not be upsetting at all on draft day, during draft weekend, because I'm comfortable either way it goes.
Yeah.
Because I've seen these guys pick young guys, develop them, and they make a huge impact in the Super Bowl season. So I'm comfortable either way it go.
Yeah, and we're also in a position where you're coming off of a Super Bowl victory. Your team is relatively still loaded, more loaded than most teams. Whether people want to, even after losing Josh Sweat, after losing Milton Williams, how many teams can actually say they have Pro Bowl talent and All Pro talent sprinkled over their entire defense still after losing those two players? Right? You lose Milton, you lose Sweat, right? You lose Isaiah Rodgers, you lose Slay. You still got Jalen Carter. You still got Nolan Smith, who's a borderline Pro Bowl talent. You have Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper Dejean, who are Pro Bowl, All-Pro talents. Right? You got Zach Bone, who's an All-Pro talent. That's 5 players right there. That's 5 players out of 11. There's teams who don't even have 3 All-Pro, Pro Bowl level talents on their defense. So even with those losses, I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles have positioned themselves with winning the Super Bowl, with drafting well and developing well. They've positioned themselves where no matter what pick they make, I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh my God, why'd you draft him?" We're not in a position where we need to be hanging on by a thread based off of who they draft.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think we can do no wrong in this draft. I feel like we're not pressed. You know, like the last couple of drafts, we was pressed, you know what I'm saying, for a star at a certain position, which we hit on, you know what I'm saying, every time. But I feel like, yeah, this draft, I don't feel like we're pressed for anything. So I'm with you, LB. Like, I feel like I'm cooling. Like, I already know, like, whatever the move is, we can't go wrong.
We need some veterans, though. I feel like we do need some veterans. We lost a lot of vets on the defensive side of the ball. You lost BG, you lost CJ, you lost Slay.
Yeah.
You lost some veterans on that side of the ball. We got extremely young on the defensive side of the ball. So I would like us to bring in an OG that's just a professional. You know what I mean? That can show the guys how to prepare, show the guys how to conduct themselves and things of that nature. Because we're relying on a lot of young OGs. We're relying on, Quinyon Mitchell to be dude like 22.
Yeah.
Cooper Dejean just turned 21. We're relying on guys to be mature beyond their time. Because when we bring in this new crop of rookies, they're gonna be looking up to these guys who only got 1 year in the game.
How you feel about Justin Simmons?
Good point,
Simone. I like Justin Simmons because Justin Simmons, he played with Vic. He know the system just about as well as anybody else that's coming in. You know what I mean? I like it, man. Justin Simmons has had some good years. I don't think his age is shown on the field, so I'm willing to take that. I really wanted Stephon Gilmore though.
We know.
I wanted a veteran corner. I don't know why. I want a veteran corner.
Did he sign somewhere?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. And the thing about Justin Simmons, like you said, LB, I agree. He's somebody who, in my opinion, he still had a very strong season with the Atlanta Falcons last year. Granted, it was a one-off, but he's somebody that's not too far removed from being a Pro Bowler and the second team All-Pro. He had a pretty good season last year as far as coverage goes. He played, and he had a pretty good bill of health over the past couple seasons. Last year, he played in 16 games. Last year, he accumulated 2 interceptions. He was targeted 37 times, only gave up 22 completions for a 59.5 completion percentage, only gave up 229 yards receiving. He's also somebody who's only allowed an 81.9 passer rating, and that's a career best since 2021. 2021 and 2019 were his best, where he gave up a 66.5 and a 43.6 passer rating, respectively. But 81.9 is the best passer rating, or the lowest passer rating he's allowed since 2021. So, in my opinion, he's somebody that hasn't really lost a step. He's somebody that still plays the game smart, plays the game beyond just pure athleticism. And he understands Vic Fangio's scheme and what he likes to do. And I was watching his conversation with Kay Adams on Up and Adams, and he talking like he got the job already.
Yeah, you feel me? I tweeted that. I'm like, damn, did we sign him, or like he really throwing us in the ring?
It's given very much the decision over here with Justin Simmons. Like, it seemed like he on this podcast tour, like this, he getting so much press around where he going.
Because he still like that. He's still like that for
he could,
and I'm like,
and remember last year he took a long time to sign too. Remember that last year he took a long time to sign. This is not unfamiliar territory. Last year I don't think he signed until way after the draft.
You said he took what from what, LB?
What is that?
You were about to say he took something.
No, I said he could potentially take somebody to where they need to go. He could be a missing piece.
Yeah, I'm not. I ain't see a lot last year. I mean, I ain't watch a lot of Falcons games. I ain't hear much. So yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
The Falcons started off good last year.
Yeah, I remember they started off good. I remember them being excited about getting Simmons. I just don't remember how he panned out. I'm not saying he didn't pan out well. I just don't know. I didn't hear anybody talking about him.
Yeah,
but I think the Eagles would definitely prefer to draft one of these safeties. That's why I wouldn't make a move for him. They would prefer to get a young guy.
Yeah, because like I said, we getting a lot of these interviews have been with these DBs. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still have a couple of pre-draft interviews left, but the guy we interviewed with, we had at a visit yesterday. He's a guy who played slot, outside, safety. We another guy we brought in for a pre-draft visit. He's another one of those guys that played safety and corner. So it's definitely given, we looking at that position in the draft too.
Yeah, because Cooper Dejean, he can't be moved. It's just too late, man. You got to find somebody. You got to find you a corner that could do it all. But the thing about this safety position is unique because it got to be a guy who played like CJ, man. I mean, it got to be a guy that come downhill and tackle, bro. It just got to be. System.
Yeah. And that kind of brings me to the guys they're looking at in the top 30 visits because they are looking at this kid named Jalen Reed.
You know what I mean?
Jalen Reed is a safety out of Penn State, and he's somebody that does have some growth.
And that's what helped.
He does have a lot of room to grow in terms of coverage, but he's somebody that plays downhill, very physical. Somebody that you can use in that big nickel situation, being that third safety on the football field. You probably don't want him in too many situations where he's single high, but you do want him in situations where he can attack the quarterback, be physical, and run defense, so on and so forth. So, I think the Eagles, just based off their top 30 visits, like Symone said earlier, they're definitely locked in on the trenches. A bunch of edge rushers, a bunch of offensive linemen, a bunch of interior defenders. But then you got your corners and your corners and your safeties sprinkled in there, right? And here's one note to keep in mind as it pertains to the top 30 visits and as it correlates to how the Eagles draft on draft night. It says here, prior to the 2023 NFL Draft, the Eagles hosted Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Tyler Steen, and Keely Ringo on top 30 visits. Prior to the 2024 NFL Draft, the Eagles brought in Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper Dejean, Jalix Hunt, and Aeneas Smith and Johnny Wilson on top 30 visits. That means 56.3% of the Philadelphia Eagles draft picks in each of the last two seasons had top 30 visits with the team. And 100% of Philadelphia's first three draft picks in each of the last two seasons had top 30 visits with the team. So I say all that to say the Philadelphia Eagles, when they bring you in, they're not just using these top 30 visits as smokescreen. They're really trying to evaluate you. They're really trying to figure out if you fit into this situation. So we can be looking at a bunch of the players as of right now. We could be looking at we could be looking at future Philadelphia Eagles right now. And just as a reminder, on offense, they're bringing in offensive tackle Jalen Travis out of Iowa State, offensive lineman Marcus Baugh out of Purdue, offensive tackle Josh Connolly Jr. out of Oregon, offensive lineman Anthony Belton out of North Carolina State, Charles Grant out of William and Mary, guard Donovan Jackson and Dylan Fairchild out of Ohio State and Georgia, respectively. Running back Jaden Blue. They're looking at four corners: Maxwell Hairston, Jacob Parrish, Trey Amos, Jalen Smith. Looking at the safety, Jalen Reed, like I mentioned. Looking at like five edge rushers: Elijah Roberts, Donovan Izaraku, Tyler Barron, Oladipo, Nick Scorton. Then the D tackle Shamar Turner, T.J. Sanders. We could be looking at potential Eagles draft picks right now. One of my favorite guys they're looking at is Nick Scorton and Shamar Turner, both of those guys out of Texas A&M. I think Nick Scorton is a beast.
He's the edge. He's the edge rusher, right?
Yeah, Nick Scorton he's the edge rusher. Yep.
They say they don't like him, man. Everybody keeps saying they don't like him.
And I like the kid out of Boston College, Donovan Izaraku out of edge rusher. I like him a lot too.
This is my thing now. When was the last guy? Now I know somebody might know this, but when was the last guy the Eagles drafted that was a top 30 visit?
Say that again.
When was the last guy we drafted that was a guy that visited with us prior to the draft?
Who was the last guy we drafted?
That visited with us prior towards the draft. Like, do we have a track record of drafting these guys?
Yeah. I just said that.
Oh, that was your list? I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
No. That's the list of guys in this year's draft, though, right?
But prior to, I said in the 2023 and the 2024 draft, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Tyler Steen, Keely Ringo, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jalen Hunt, Anaya Smith, and Johnny Wilson. They all had top. They all visited with the Eagles, and the Eagles drafted them.
Okay. All right. So this is a clear. Yeah, you're right. We could be looking at future Eagles.
But you know what's funny though? Jordan Davis wasn't a top 30 visit.
What you laughing at, Symone?
Because they on you.
They on your head.
What they talk about?
They were like, he just read that list. LB.
No. I didn't know they was top 30 visits because I don't pay attention to the top 30 visits all the time.
And Tone made a big. He gave a great delivery with it. He gave some percentages.
I ain't mad, bro. I ain't tripping, bro. I ain't mad at
you. Delivered it, presented it.
My bad. My bad. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't fully paying attention. Who
was the Eagles' last players on top 30 visits?
You know what? I ain't gonna lie.
Because I was thinking about that earlier in the week. I'm like, we visiting all these dudes. This shit might be a smoke screen. We probably don't want none of them.
Now, listen, all I'm gonna say is now I know what my wife be talking about. She be saying a lot to me, and I just be like, huh?
No, that's how I do.
No, I literally was. So I got my other phone in my hand. I was doing like two things at once.
It's the fact that you said it immediately after he finished giving his presentation.
Oh my god, yo, they funny.
Because usually y'all say something and then the other person segues off it. I thought that was my opportunity.
We were.
They in the chat drawing, yo. Somebody said, Will Kelly said, LB thinking about bars.
I'm really not.
Yo. Oh man, that's crazy.
See, I wasn't gonna say that until they said it in the chat.
I wasn't gonna say a word. I wasn't gonna say a word. Oh man, that's crazy.
I started laughing.
But no, like they don't waste time. Like they don't waste time with these visits. They don't waste time. But I do think it's interesting though, the players that they didn't bring in the top 30 visits. We're kind of having, I don't want to say buyer's remorse, but we kind of look at him like, damn, he kind of didn't pan out the way I thought he would. A la Jordan Davis. They didn't bring him in on the top 30 visit. They didn't bring him in. And
I don't think Jordan Davis fit that, though. I think Jordan Davis really looked like a dominant defensive tackle last year.
Oh, no, wait. Let me double check that. I think I'm wrong.
What are you saying, Tone?
No, forget that. I think I'm wrong.
No, you got to repeat that so we get the context.
So I was saying
what
that.
You saying? What you trying to say?
No, what I was trying to say was I wasn't sure if the Eagles brought in Jordan Davis on a top 30 visit or not. I wasn't entirely sure because Jordan Davis was a top 15.
That's a high draft pick, and we knew he was picking like.
Okay, he did come in. All right, cool.
He had to come in on a visit.
He did come in. He did come in. No, the reason I was saying that is because top 15 pick, and typically when they bring in guys from top 30 visit, they got a pretty good handle on what he is and what he ain't. Mm-hmm. And Jordan Davis, when he came in, a lot of people was like, he ain't getting to the quarterback. What's up with his conditioning and all this kind of stuff?
No, but his combine was crazy.
Yeah.
His combine, which is why I think
he was moving.
Which is why I think people really was like, whoa, like this moving at this size is crazy. Yeah. Regardless though, they did bring him in though. So I digress.
Yeah, I don't think it's there's some guys you bring in on the top 30 visit that you draft and they pan out to be Himothy's. And there's some guys you bring in on top 30 visit, you draft and they turn out to not
be average.
Did we bring in Jalen Reagor on the top 30 visit?
We brought in Anais and
that's a good point. He was buried.
But wide receiver is different though because you just behind so many people, man.
Yeah.
You know, you behind so many people,
right,
you're not even gonna have an opportunity to cook.
Yeah. But I don't, but my point is saying, I don't think it's like we brought him in on a visit, we drafted him, he's going to be excellent. Or we brought him in on a visit, we drafted him, that means he ain't going to be, like, I don't think it's an indicator of how the player is going to pan out.
But I think, I think when you bring him in on a visit and you host him for a visit and you get like individual workout time with him and stuff like that, I think you learn a little bit about the personality and the characteristic traits of the player. I think that's a plus. Because if you want to bring somebody on a visit, you're really, really interested in them, though.
Mm-hmm.
You're interested in them. You want to sit down and meet with them. Like your staff is going to meet them. You're going to show them around a facility. You're going to interview them. So no, that's like a job interview.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not an indication of how the player's career is going to turn out.
That's true. That's true.
It obviously means you interested in them, obviously, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the player is going to turn out great or turn out bad. It just means
it don't mean you
a good fit. Yeah.
Right. It don't mean you're going to even draft them or not.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know
you're definitely right. Definitely right. So, you know,
who took Kenny Pickett?
But I think in our case, since our track record shows that, you know, a lot of guys we bring in, we ultimately could get them if we can, means that we're a little interested in them. I guess it's everybody's case though, but I don't know about everybody.
Yeah, I definitely think that means a couple of these guys on this visit. That's why I'm looking at this list and I'm like, I feel like we going one of these positions, like 20. So far, 20 out of the 30 visits have been predominantly trenches or DB. So that's why I'm feeling like that's what we're looking at. Like, I feel like
can't be mad if we draft a guard. If we draft a guard at 32,
that's what
I'm saying. I ain't gonna be mad at nothing.
Yeah, like if they draft the dude, Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State. You know, a lot of people get on him about the competition he went up against in college, playing in the FCS at North Dakota State. But when he got to that Senior Bowl and he played up against top tier SEC Power 5 competition, he was mauling these dudes. So it's not like he can't play. So we'll see how that goes.
I want to do from Georgia. Ratledge or something.
Oh,
yeah, guard.
Oh, it's a Tate Ratledge.
I want my dude from NC State. Put the Wolfpack on the line.
The safety.
We got an offensive lineman from NC State.
Oh, okay.
Let me see who you're talking about.
The draft gonna be interesting though. What week is that?
Tate Ratledge, the guard. Yeah, I see him. Yeah, Tate Ratledge.
It's the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yep. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that Saturday I'm going to see K. Dot and SZA. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to that.
Where are you going? Oh, I'm going to the Philly show.
I'm going to the one in Dallas.
Okay, yeah, I can't wait.
No, it's gonna be lit. I'm looking forward to that.
Who's gonna be at the show? I gotta put a little fit together.
Oh, so wait, you said you're going to the Philly one?
Mm-hmm. Cause remember my sister.
Right. Because she going to Penn, right?
Well, she's gonna be teaching. She'll be working at CHOP.
Children's Hospital.
Mm-hmm. But it's like
Doing what?
She does research. Like she's a scientific researcher. But she's gonna be right. She's gonna be working with a lab.
What you trying to find, a new species?
She does vaccines. So she works on infectious diseases. So she's like vaccine research. But
she works for the CDC.
I mean, I don't know how that stuff works, but that's not what she want to do. Like she wants to work on she works on the research to create the vaccines. I don't think that's what the CDC does. Like, you know what I mean? She's experimenting.
They got researchers over there.
Yeah. CDC, they focus more so on like the origin of like the diseases and like
they're
how
the disease control. You know what I mean? She's on the back end of like there's this new
so CDC,
funky disease
CDC
and
CDC is like game plan based. So your sister and her team, they make the vaccines. CDC says, how do we roll these vaccines out?
Yeah,
something like that. Now I'm not an expert, but yeah, hers is basically like when the new viruses and stuff that has very little research on it comes out. She's researching on the patterns And again, I'm a sports girl, I'm not science. So you know what I mean? She's researching like how it spreads. You know, she's researching on these new viruses and trying to figure out vaccines and how to whatever the thing. But she's basically on research of vaccines. But I say all that to say she's gonna be working at CHOP, but it's in conjunction with a Penn lab. But last time she was at CHOP, Cooper Dejean was in there, Quinyon was in there meeting with the patients. I'm like, girl,
so
a day pass.
Right.
So Symone, I gotta ask now, like when y'all both come home for the holidays, like which one of y'all gets the most questions about your careers? I mean,
Sydney talks a lot. I mean, we both talk a lot.
It's like yes. That looks like that seems like you.
No, Sydney. Now we both talk a lot, but Sydney definitely talks a lot. But she we both like get the same amount kind of deal. Like obviously my family's really into sports, so we talk 90% of our conversation about is sports, and none of us really understand what she does. You know what I mean? So for the most part, we kind of like, oh, cool. Or can you explain this in layman's terms? Like, you know what I mean? Like my mom is a lawyer. My other sister is a lawyer. My dad is engineer. So none of us are in science.
Black excellence. I love it.
We're like, can you explain? We need you to, you know what I mean? Like when her stuff, she'd be like, oh, I got a paper published in this top, whatever. And we're like, it's like reading jargon, basically. But she talks a lot about it. We let her talk about it. She tries to break it down. It's cool sometimes.
Were you and your sister very competitive growing up? Were you and your sister very competitive growing up?
No, she's a middle child. So middle children are very competitive, I guess. You know what I mean? I'm a chill girl. I'm laid back.
So
I'm the baby.
Y'all got an older sister?
Yeah, we have an older sister.
Oh. And you're the youngest, right?
Yeah, so I'm the baby. So Sydney is kind of like, she was feeling like she was my mom. So my mom is real laid back. Sydney is like, she's very academic driven, and she's always been extremely academic driven. I'm talking about since we was babies. You know what I'm saying? Like she was always on this track. So she would want me to be on this track. So she wasn't competitive. She was more so like pressed for me to, did you read 10 books? I'm taking this AR test tomorrow. You need to read this book and take this AR test, and you need to read this. And my mom would be like, leave her alone. Let her play. Let her do whatever.
Let her play.
Yeah, like she's like literally like she want me to be like, I actually made it as far as I made it, honestly, because of her. Like, because she is like, you know what I mean? She made sure I was applying to college. Not that my mom wasn't, but she wanted me to be early on everything. Like, you need to be doing this. You need to be doing this. You need to be applying to NC State. You need to do sports management. You need to do this. You need to do that. Like, she like not competitive. She more like a mom, a second mom.
I ain't do college till I got out of the military. And by the time I was out of the military, I didn't know what was going on.
See, that's how I was. I was having fun in high school. You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, junior year, she's saying, you need to be taking these tests. I'm like, tests? We just be cool in that school.
Right. I can't. So I came from war. Then you know, because when you do the stuff I did, like my college, all that shit was free. So I'm like, all right, let me go to school and shit. I get to school, they like, bruh, they talking about American history, all this crazy math shit, bro. It was crazy at first, bro. I wasn't hanging in there, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I had to take a break. Whew. But I got it together, man. I got it together, Symone. By the grace of God. I got it together, man. And I didn't even need a degree for my job field. It just was because it was free, really.
Yeah, I feel like I could do my job without a degree.
Right, you know. But it's cool though, because both of my kids, their college is paid for, so.
That's good.
I ain't worried about that. Yeah,
that's good.
When you're a shooter for them people, that you get some perks that coming down the back end.
Wait, so Abby, what was your my wife working in the military. What do they call it when your job? What was it? POS? MOS. I said POS. What was your MOS?
I was a 25 uniform.
I don't know what that means.
So it's like so I don't even know if they have it anymore. It's like a signal support specialist, but it's all like IT related. So like when you So when people go outside the wire, they go on missions, they looking for people, everybody loading up, they rolling out. You need a guy that's good with your radio, that's good with your computer, that's good with all the electronics in your car and all of that. You know, you gotta have a guy like that.
No, that makes
And
sense.
I was
Communication
that
systems and
guy.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah, you need a guy to set up comms, all of that stuff. I was so good at it, man. I was calling back to the States on a Harris radio,
Damn.
like making phone calls on the joint from Afghanistan.
Whoa.
No, that's what's up. No, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, it was cool, man. Fun times.
Yeah. But you know, let's see the super chats real quick. We got 7 of them. All right, let's get to these real quick. I appreciate the biography, you guys. I really do. It's always good to learn about your peers. Kenneth Johnson with the super chat. He says, when y'all do your mock draft again, base them off the top 30. Interesting.
I haven't done a mock yet.
I've done like 3 of them so far.
I've done like 5. I was saying we should stream the draft.
I do got plans for draft night already.
Mm-hmm.
I do got plans for draft night.
You got a mega show?
No. No, me and my man.
You gotta make a
that shit was. Don't get me started, man.
We gotta talk about that.
That shit was ridiculous, bro.
Did it happen?
No.
We'll talk offline, man. I want to be a pro. Let me not even do that, man.
Oh, my man was a '92 Yankee. He was that's a truck driver. I was cool with the Yankees.
But yeah, we definitely should do. We should do a mock draft though. Maybe on next show. That'd be cool to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go in on that. Alex Lonely Star says Lions fans love blaming the defense as if Goff didn't turn the ball over multiple times. Also, we stacked, but we wasn't playing week 18 for the number 1 seed. They did to be quiet. Poverty franchise.
Extreme poverty. They was beefing. They almost lost it. They had to go down to a tussle between them and the Lions for the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
the Vikings.
Vikings. I'm like, come on, man. Eustace Baggs. What y'all know about Eustace Baggs? But she says Cheeto. Yeah, Cheetah is a top 10 receiver for sure. That's so Cheetah better. You know,
Cheetah's like a top 4 receiver, top 5 receiver.
I ain't even talking about that.
Oh, you know who else? You know who else better than St. Brown? Jalen Waddle was better than St. Brown. Jaden Waddle was better.
I'm not ready to jump out the window and say that. Jalen Waddle can't stay healthy. But no, Cheetah need to stay out of the news. I'll tell you that.
Jahan Dotson is better than St. Brown.
All right. Lonely Star back again says a lot of the injuries came from them still having their starters in when they was up in garbage time. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel bad for him either. I don't feel bad for him at all, bro.
That's true.
That's what happens. That's happens. You get cocky. Andrew Nathan says it sounds like Simmons has a deal in place already. I'm still drafting a rookie. Let him sit behind Simmons for a year, like Andrew Makuba from Texas. I get this feeling people forgetting about Sidney Brown though. Like Sidney Brown is a player that the Philadelphia Eagles do like. He's somebody that unfortunately had a torn ACL after the 2023 season, so he didn't really get a full off season to really lock in with Vic Fangio's scheme. And by the time he got healthy, the defense was already rolling and roles were already defined. So, I feel like Sidney Brown is somebody that still needs to be. Yeah, he's somebody that still needs to be considered potential. Like he's somebody that still deserves a shot at that spot because his traits are his traits jump off the page, but he just has technical things he needs to refine.
What?
So we'll see.
Why are you shaking your head?
We done with him, Tom. We done with that. He's special teams ace.
You done with him? He only
You
hit
done
a
with
year.
Sidney Brown?
He's special teams ace. He's special teams ace. He don't. He all reckless muscle and speed. No technique, no finesse.
You say he's on what muscle?
Reckless muscle and speed. He a crash dummy.
Reckless muscle.
He's a crash dummy. Look at his play style. We need finesse. We need guys that's gonna read the field. You know what I mean? We need guys that's gonna use their head. He's a special teams guy.
But you know how much grace do you give a brother who got drafted into a situation where he had to deal with Sean Desai and Matt Patricia and everything that went down in 2023? You know what I'm saying? And then he got hurt.
You give him grace by letting him get some good special teams reps.
But if he comes in and he shows you the growth
Reckless.
from the previous season. You got to give him a shot though. You drafted him, I think, third or fourth round. I said because you drafted him on because you drafted him with a day 2 pick, you got to at least give Cindy Brown a shot at the job. You got to. There's no way you move on from CJ GJ if you don't think you want to give CJ if you don't want to give Cindy Brown a shot at the very least.
It's Vic Fangio. You moved on from CJ because of the money. This is Vic Fangio.
Money and other things.
You gotta earn your shot. We ain't gotta give you nothing where you was drafted at. This is
but that's what I'm saying. Baby. But that's what I'm saying. Like I think he can get everybody's gonna get a shot at the position because it's wide open. It's not like it's anybody.
Yeah, he's unless Justin Simmons come along, but he's gonna get a shot.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, Bubba. Okay, let's leave it at that. Draft lane replacement and sign Simmons.
I just already know Cindy Brown and Ringo gonna be the topic of the offseason.
Symone, your sister a hero, unlike y'all crazy, man.
But he has been canceling all them
the tariffs.
No, like for the scientists. Like a lot of the labs getting shut down.
Yeah, he's cutting. He's trying to cut. I think 50 to 70% of the military workforce. And my wife worked for the military. My wife is a civilian working for the Department of Education. Well, not Department of Education. She works for the Education Department for the DOD. So she worked for the Department of Defense. And it's at a point now where they're offering these. Deferred
DRPs,
deferred resignation. Basically they'll pay you for like months on end. They basically paying you to leave.
They'll pay you for the rest of the what is it?
Fiscal year. It's the fiscal year, and then which is September 30th.
Right. They'll pay you for the rest of the continued resolution.
Yep.
And then, so if you accept that, you like, I think it starts May 1st. So if you accept that, then you on administrative leave from May until September.
Exactly, and you still getting paid. Yep. They this is right now. I think they're going through their second round of trying to get people to do it because not many people took it. I think they said only maybe 7-8% of people of the workforce took it. So they trying to do it again to try to cut that workforce down.
So ultimately, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the people that's eligible to retire to just go retire.
That part.
The thing about it is you could work for the government, and you could be like 80 years old, but you could have retired 20 years ago. So it's like they're just trying to get people. They're trying to get people to retire. Now, when you active duty military, they force you to retire. You know what I mean? That's all they got to do for the civilians is just start implementing that, like force people to retire.
Yeah, and they've completely shut off those military expense accounts. Like for example, my wife did a lot of traveling for her department, and she had a GPC. She had a government purchase card, travel basically. Card? Yeah, exactly, travel card, exactly. So. She used that whenever she needed whenever she was traveling, and she had to travel a lot for them. And then they just ended that, but she just got she was a fellow. She was in a fellowship program. So,
she wasn't probationary or nothing, though.
No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't probationary. So she cool with that. But it's just a lot of changes going on. A lot of changes. And
for Sid, all them labs getting shut down. Like it was literally like a blessing, her program and like her lab not getting shut down, but like all of her peers, like 60% of her peers in science, like jobs gone. Like
this is the thing though, man. You want to cut down military operations. I was over there, bro. Everybody's job is important, from the people that cook, the people that fix vehicles, the people that do research. You know what I mean? If you go to war, you need all of that, bro.
Yeah.
You need carpenters, you need plumbers, you literally need all that. I was on 5 Shank in a wooden building. We ain't had no toilets in the building. I was in a wooden building. You had to go to the bathroom outside, like in another building, bro.
Like our house.
You need everything when you trying to be. When you're trying to be what they trying to be, I don't know, man. That's why it's good to have people in some positions that actually been to war.
Yeah, they cutting a lot of the whole, but like you said, LB, I just have a hard time foreseeing what it looks like when you're trying to cut 50 to 70% of your workforce. It's crazy. It's crazy. But last super chat, Tone Lopez says, Symone, the Just Hate Us crew neck is in the mail.
Appreciate you, Tone. I'll be in the lookout.
All right. So yeah, that's pretty much all the super chats, y'all. That's pretty much our show. I ain't really got nothing to talk about. Anything else you want to tap into?
No, man. Look out for the draft content. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find me some tickets for the Kendrick joint. I'm probably gonna go in the DC area.
Yeah, I'm excited for that concert.
Yeah, I am too, man. That's gonna be
all
crazy.
That jumping around. Last concert I went to, I had like a floor seat situation, and the people in front of me was standing up in their seat. I couldn't see. I'm like, so if I stand up in my seat, then nobody behind me gonna see.
Right.
Who you gonna see?
Who the hell was it? I think it was like it was Future. Shit was lit though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I want to go see a Gunna concert.
Me personally, I'm always on the fence about going to concerts with artists who don't really speak legibly all the time. Because
yeah. So some people I understand and some people I don't.
Yeah.
Like for some strange reason, I vividly can understand Future and Young Thug. It's just like it's very clear English to me.
Yeah.
But I can't understand Lil Baby. Sometimes.
Nah.
Well, that's because Lil Baby don't be saying something sometimes.
No, I never understand.
Sometimes he don't be saying something. He just goes into he don't be saying that sometimes.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, so I like my trap music, but I'm like a lyricist guy.
The moment, yeah, I'm a lyrics dude. Like the moment I knew that I couldn't do that, I went to J. Cole concert. Right, I went to 2 tours. I went to the KOD tour, and I went to the off season tour.
I think he just had Dreamville,
and then Dreamville Fest. I think is happening now, or it's like a week-long thing. It's last week. It's the last Dreamville. It was the last Dreamville Fest ever. But I went to the KOD tour where he snapped. He had like KOD tour was one of the best tours I've ever seen in my life. Then I went to the off-season tour, and he had brought out Moray, and he brought out 21 Savage, and he brought out Bass. Bass, I understand everything he's saying. Moray, I understand everything he's saying. 21 came out. 21 had maybe a 5-10 minute set. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was like, yeah, 21.
But Savage talk clear. He just talks.
He talks very clear.
But no, I exactly. He does in the music. He talk in the headphones. He talks very clear.
So live. It was
live. I actually wasn't. I was driving.
No, I'm talking about 21.
Oh, yeah. 21 is not the best live performer to me. Like,
because I saw 21 twice. He wasn't like the main performer, but I could understand him. Somebody talk about I could never understand Gunna. Now, don't do that. Don't do Gunna.
No, Gunna is kind of hard to understand. I don't understand.
I like Gunna a lot.
But I don't understand people. I don't understand nobody that be snitching. As soon as you do that, your language just turns different. As soon as you do stuff like that, I
had to give Gunna some grace. You know, I was mad at Gunna at first, but then I gave him grace.
Listen,
I can understand Gunna clearly, bro.
You was mad at him for his actions at first?
Yeah, I was mad at first.
I'm a civilian. Like,
I'm a civilian too.
Bruh,
so
when
I don't understand street code. I'm a civilian.
That's my you know what? That's my point. That's my point right there, Tone. I am a civilian, right? I'm a civilian, and I don't like when the gangsters use the things that's laid out for civilians. You're not supposed to snitch. You ain't supposed to do that.
You mean the way around?
Of the tracks.
You mean with civilian, you use things laid out for gangsters?
No, the gangsters. The gangsters. You ain't supposed to be in the courtroom talking to Johnny Law. You a gangster.
He's not really.
That's for Tone. That's for me. That's for taxpaying citizens.
Look,
I wouldn't even call. I don't know boy life, but last time, listen, Gunna was on Crime Stoppers at one point, so I don't know if he a gangster.
That's what he be talking about, though. He be talking about that, though.
Gunna's music, though, is just so good.
You know what? I could never honestly, truly get into it to get on that level. Everybody says that, though.
Bro, when I tell you, I listen every time I get in the car. I just say, "Hey Siri, shuffle Gunna." I literally listen to Gunna all day. I literally love Gunna so.
I like that.
bad.
I like that one song. So you know who I do like? I do like Rod Wave.
I do.
I
I like
like
Robbery
Rod
too.
Wave.
I like Robbery a lot.
I like Rod
Listen, me
Wave.
personally, Gunna best album was the album. Listen, you're gonna laugh at this though. In my opinion, his best album was the one that he dropped when he got out.
The joint with bread and butter on it.
A Gift and Curse. Let me double check if it got bread and butter on it.
Yeah, my bread and butter. I like bread and butter.
Gunna go crazy, bro.
It got back to the moon, bread and butter, back at it. Yeah, back at it.
I like bread and butter. That was like my first song. I'm like, let me give him a chance.
One of one. Y'all, I tried so hard to be mad at Gunna because I'm an easy breezy, beautiful thugger girl first. You know what I'm saying? Like, there would be no Gunna without Thug. For him to do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it cut deep.
I ain't like Thug last joint though, man.
Okay, it's time to wrap up this stream.
You like Thug last album?
You talking about you ain't talking about So Much Fun. You talking about Punk?
Business is Business.
The one where he's
Mad Dog, Jonesboro.
Okay, so you know what I did? You know what I do like that one.
I love Business is Business.
I like the Metro edit though. How when Metro reshuffled the playlist,
bruh,
and Metro reorganized the song, so I like that one.
You talking about Business is Business? You didn't like Business is Business?
I didn't like when it first came out how the songs was listed, but Metro changed the track list.
Business is everything to me. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
it's not better than Beautiful Thugger Girls.
No. It's not. But
Beautiful Thugger Girls. Beautiful Thugger Girls. That's the album that made me like,
Beautiful Thugger Girls at all.
That one, Thug was on another level right there. Thug is a musical genius, I think.
Yeah,
Thugger Girls. It's not better than Business, but Business is hard. But y'all gotta remember, I live in Atlanta. So this music, it's like the references. I'm driving through the city with it, and I'm like, Gunna is speaking to me as an Atlanta girl now. You know what I'm saying? Like
me personally, I got really locked in on Thug when him and Rich Homie came out with the Rich Game tape.
I can't. No, I'm gonna get too emotional.
Because like Jibenti, my toes and my hoes and my bros.
They was at the
I'm like, what? That was a time. I was in college when that was hot.
Bro, that broke my heart, man.
That was a time.
Slime season.
That was
as soon as I go into the gym, the first song on my gym playlist is Digits. Then they go to March Madness by
Milk
Future.
Milk Maroon.
Bro, March Madness is like that's
March Madness by Future.
Digits, I could never skip Digits.
My playlist fire. It's a bunch of lyricists. Then I gotta sprinkle in some Thug, sprinkle in some Future. Then I go back to the lyricists. Then I sprinkle in. I got sprinkles. Shit, I got Glorilla on my joint.
I got to be honest with you. Like lately,
my gym
playlist got a lot of Kevin Gates on there. Kevin Gates is that.
I like Kevin Gates.
Kevin Gates is that ball for me, man. Like he be talking.
Kevin Gates. People don't understand. People think Future is toxic. I think Kevin Gates is on a different level.
Oh, Kevin Gates is.
I think Kevin Gates is on a different level of toxic.
He be talking. Like
he toxic, bro.
Yeah, I think he's on a different level.
But somebody said he absurd. Absolutely not. I'm not bringing up Lil Baby. No. Now, Lil Baby gave me some anthems.
Lil Baby was about to run the game.
He was.
He had the ball in his court.
He had the ball in his court and he turned it over. Lil Baby gave me some anthems. I always respect Lil Baby, but he fell off.
He ain't been the same since my turn.
Yeah, he
my turn, and then he kind of just like I don't know everything.
I never personally liked Lil Baby over Moneybag.
Oh, I love Moneybag.
I'm a Moneybag boy over Lil Baby. Yeah, Moneybag.
I never personally liked Lil Baby over Moneybag. You know what I mean? I'm a Moneybag boy. People be sleeping on Moneybag.
I love Moneybag. Moneybag got some hits, bro.
Moneybag rap better than both of them.
People be sleeping on Moneybag.
Go for who?
Moneybag is a better rapper than Lil Baby and Gunna. A better rapper.
First of
Yes.
all, Gunna
He's a better rapper. Gunna is a
Gunna
harmonizer.
and Moneybagg, I love Moneybagg, but Gunna and Moneybagg are two different flows. I don't even go for them for the same type of vibe. Like that's two different vibes to me.
I hear you, but they're in that same class as far as like
now rapper. Okay,
Gunna don't even for real. Gunna don't even be saying that. I can't take all this Gunna
don't be saying nothing.
Gunna don't be saying
swag rapping. It's all swag rapping, just like all that. Like just
hold on, pause. Gunna makes better music, I feel like, than Moneybagg, but Moneybagg is a better rapper.
I give you that.
But Gunna makes better bodies of work.
I need you to send me some your top five.
Look, I love Moneybagg. When I tell you I love Moneybagg, but I'm
talking about from Gunna. I think Gunna a little overrated. I ain't gonna hold you,
bro. Gunna, my top is Shuffle Gunna, and I'm in a days. What do you mean top? It's everything, bro.
Listen, bet on me. Bet on Moneybagg, yo, bet on me.
I love the
come on, man.
I don't think Gunna got a better song than Waukesha.
No, look, Relentless again. Moneybagg.
I don't know, B.
Gunna got a better song than Waukesha.
Oh my God, bro!
I'm not about to be listening to this Gunna disrespect. I'm the president of the.
You know, Gunna. I'm surprised. Neither one of y'all talked about NBA YoungBoy. That's somebody I can't understand at
NBA
all.
YoungBoy not for me though. He's not for me.
I can't understand it. I cannot understand it.
He for the YNs, bro.
Understand it at all.
He for the YNs. He ain't for my age group. I'm 30, bro. He ain't for me.
I'm not with.
Oh, y'all know who I like though? Damn, I forget my boy Yak. I like Kodak.
I love Kodak.
I fell back on Kodak.
I love Kodak.
I like Yak.
Bro, I could just listen to Kodak be saying the dumbest stuff, but it
it's somebody just said Cardi trash.
Who?
Playboy Cardi trash.
He's ass, bro. He's ass.
That is trash, bro.
Who is Cardi even?
Playboy Cardi. He might got the number one album in the country right now. Trash.
But no, Kodak Black.
I haven't really been.
Somebody gonna get mad at me on Twitter because I was like, I love Kodak. And somebody was like, why do you love Kodak? He hates black women. I'ma still listen to the
music. My favorite Kodak album, in my opinion, the best Kodak album that I've ever heard, me personally, just me.
Y'all talking about Money Man?
The best
Money Man. That Money Man?
I don't know, but to me, the best Kodak album that I've ever heard, me personally, is Dying to Live. That's my favorite Kodak album.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites too. But it's like what I like about Kodak is Kodak step it up according to who he's rapping with too. Like he did his thing on Kendrick album. Kodak did his thing on the joint with Bruno Mars and Gucci Mane.
Yeah,
I'm a Gucci Mane fan too.
Oh, I love you already know I love Gucci.
Yeah, Gucci.
I mean, I was
Gucci the OG, bro.
I was a big Migos fan.
Gucci the OG.
Yeah, Gucci is the OG.
But
overall, I'm a lyrics dude though. Overall.
Yeah.
No, I like Money Man. Money Man Million. My life is a sentiment. Is that the Money Man y'all talking about? Money Man Perry.
I don't know that.
Is that what y'all talking about?
Never heard of him.
But
I know like 3 songs by Money Man. If that's who they talking about, I don't know who they talking about.
They said, "What about Meek?" Of course, Meek is a Philadelphia.
We got to debate Meek,
bro. Meek is, in my opinion, Meek solidified. Like
I feel like we already discussed Meek.
I'm gonna tell you why Meek solidified. Meek solidified because it's hard to be now. Meek is like 38. It's hard to be that age and still have that much influence over the YNs nowadays.
And here's the thing, though, right? He dropped, in my opinion, Meek probably dropped. Meek is in the running for verse of the year with that Friday verse.
Yeah, he is.
He in the running for verse of the year. I ain't heard a verse like that, and like that. He's in the running for verse of the year. If you know.
But you know what? That type of shit don't surprise me though, because Meek got verses like that.
Exactly.
Meek got it's like a shock to so many people post his Drake. But
he been there.
Yeah, Meek Ben had verses like that.
That verse was something else. Something else.
I like G Herbo. I like G Herbo.
Yeah, G Herbo was my man.
I like G Herbo. I'm not a Dirk. I'm not too big on Lil Durk. I'm not big on
Dirk either.
I'm not big.
I'll hear something cool, then I'll hear a bunch of stuff I'm not feeling.
I'm not.
I like the Sign to the Streets era Dirk. You know, then he got real melodic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I don't know nothing about no Polo G. LG,
Polo G got some. He got some. Polo G got some hits.
Lil Uzi, I don't listen.
I'm not a Polo G guy.
Polo G got some hits.
I'm not a Lil Uzi
Yo,
guy.
listen. I'm about to go in the crate. This is some real Philly shit. I'm a dark low ball.
Dark low?
I like dark low.
Dark low like that.
I like dark low.
Dark low like
that. That's Dillon. That's deep in the trenches. That's just Philly trenches.
Dark low like that. I never was an ab guy though.
I wasn't an ab guy either.
I wasn't an ab guy, but dark low like that. Dark low like that.
I wasn't a Quilly Mills boy either.
Like, Quilly hot though. Quilly nice.
I respect the pen, but I wasn't a Quilly ball. Me personally,
I wasn't either. I really wasn't a huge state property ball like that.
What?
I wasn't because I'm sorry, I wasn't a state property guy like that because I'm a D Block fan. I was so heavy.
That beef was legendary.
I was so heavy in the Jada, Styles, and Chic. Once they went to war with The Rock, I stopped listening to The Rock. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Everybody on my block. But you gotta understand, in the mixtape era, like 2000.
You from Philly though? That's crazy.
Hey man, like 2003 and all of that stuff in the mixtape era. Styles and Kissing them was running the mixtape circuit. Them DJ Clue mixtapes and all of that. They was running Fab. Like New York was running the mixtape circuit, yo. A Dipset, all of them guys. I'm a Philly guy, but state property run wasn't long enough. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Yeah, it wasn't long enough. You know what I mean? They had issues with
niggas got booked and all that. Like, yeah.
Right. I was a Chris guy though, and I was a PD guy for sure. But like I wasn't even really a Beans guy like that. And Beans, you know.
Bro, Beans, that first album is like the truth, bro.
Yeah, but I definitely rocked with OBH though. Dark Low was like that. But yeah, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Let me know what we gonna do.
Yeah. Let's close the show. Yeah, we kind of went off on a tangent anyway. Let's close the show out. We appreciate y'all for locking in on the show. Thank y'all for supporting. It means a lot to us. Go a long way. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Linc Up. Check out Symone's YouTube channel. She does great work. Check out Lord Brunson. I know what he's doing. Big things. Check us out over at Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge us to the game. We out of here, y'all. Have a good day.